Hello Internet, hi. I am Ches. Some of you may have been Googling and come across me for the first time. I do a lot of videos on how to play the saxophone and various tunes that you might want to know. So you might not be a saxophonist, you might be looking for a gift for a saxophonist, and I have lots of ideas. I love stuff. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. So I'm wearing a sparkly top because it is Crimbo here. It's beginning to look a lot like Crimbo. But you know, these would work any time of the year. These aren't Christmassy type things. And I'm going to cross-reference now. I did the same kind of video last year, so if you haven't already watched that one, you should check that out for even more amazing saxophone gift ideas. So a link to that should be popping above my head right now. Okay, so I've got 10 cool gift ideas in varying price. So I'll start with the cheapies and work my way up. So if you're just looking for a small gift or maybe a stocking filler, or it's just a little gift for someone that you know, an acquaintance, let's say, instead of like a family member or a love of your life, there's a couple of things you might fancy getting. So they do these really funky, I got them one year for a bunch of my students, flavoured reeds, and they sound awful actually, but they are really fun. So you can get like mint and blueberry, and there'll be a link to them in the description box. They should be popping above my head, an image of them now, because they come in their various colours depending on their flavour. What's your flavour? Tell me what's your flavour. Ooh, they're super fun. So they're, I don't know, like £2 probably. I think they come from America though, so you might want to buy a few, otherwise you're going to end up spending more on delivery than you are on the actual reeds. So they're fun. But if you're looking to get something maybe a little bit more special that's small, best things come in small packages. I should know, I'm petite. Then something like a Legere reed is really good. So I've just quite recently got into these guys, and I think they're actually really brilliant. So they are, instead of cane reeds, which is what we generally traditionally use, they are made from this kind of plasticky, silicone-y, plasticky, I don't know what they're made of. But A, super hygienic, B, last a lot longer. So although you normally spend like £2 on a reed and these are more like 20, it's actually a really nice gift because that person's probably going to have it for like the best part of 6 months. So that's actually a really nice gift, especially if they haven't tried it before. Saxophonists are really geeky about reeds. We get so excited by them. It's really bizarre. Do check your reed sizes though. You need to know what kind of size that player uses. If you're unsure and you don't want to ask them, maybe going for something like a 2.5 is kind of okay. That's an in-between, but ideally you need to know the size of reed that sax player uses. Okay, moving on. Number 2. This is totally geeky, and I don't know, you might think this is ridiculous, but I love mine. You can get these coasters. This is very just kind of musician. These coasters that are like mini records, and in a day and age where everything is digital and like people don't even have USBs anymore, I think this is actually a really cute gift. Like musicians always have water with them. Well, sax players always have water with them. We get through gallons of this stuff. So to have a little coaster that's a record, and you can get personalised ones. You could get an album that means something to them on the sticker. Like, look it up, check it out. That's actually a really cute gift. You could get all these personalised albums. They don't actually work. They're just coasters. But really cute gift if you're looking for something small and cheap, but actually really thoughtful. That would be my number 2. Number 3. These are cool. You can get various things to clip on stands. So there's 2 in particular I've seen at gigs, so I thought actually that's actually pretty funky. I want one of those. You can get clip-on fans. So if this sax player does lots of gigging, you get very sweaty on a gig. So especially for girls, we don't like getting sweaty. It makes our makeup fall off our face. So you get these like clip-on fans that'll blast some air at you. That's really nice. You can also get, which is pretty cool, clip-on cup holders. So you can have your cheeky beer on your stand, ready to grab at any time, and then it's not going to get knocked over where all the sound gear is. It's on your stand, nice and safe as houses. So that's a really cool, funky gift, and you're talking around the kind of £10 bracket for those type of things. Number 4. Now this kind of goes against all my principles. One of the things I should have said at the beginning actually is to avoid like saxophone shaped ornaments, saxophone clocks, saxophone photo frames. I mean, I don't know if I speak for the whole saxophone community, but personally, I don't want that stuff. I don't want, like, you know, when you feel a bit sorry for someone when you go around to their house and you see that they've got loads of like golfing stuff. It's like a golf soap dish, and because they're obviously into golf and no one knows what to buy them, so they buy them golf themed stuff. Feel a bit like that as a saxophone player. You get a lot of saxophone themed stuff, but there is one exception that I think is kind of funny, and that is saxophone underwear. I'm actually serious. I would wear that. So you could get, you know, you get like personalised underwear, and obviously there's the whole connotation with saxy. That I would actually find that genuinely quite funny if someone got me saxophone pants. I would actually recommend that as a gift, and that's in your £10 bracket, just a comedy gift, maybe a stocking filler. Just hilarious. I find that funny. It tickles me. Anyway, so that's the one kind of comedy item, I promise. The fifth thing, this is actually kind of putting a few things together and making a little pack of it. And it's one of those gifts where if you're not a saxophone player, you won't really get this, but actually as a saxophone player, you'd love to receive this. So basically things that kind of wear out and are really nice to get new versions of because they get grubby. So something you use every day is your pull-through cloth. Lots of people really swear by pad savers. I would only recommend that to saxophone players that play regularly. So don't get one if you know that this saxophone player actually only picks their saxophone up every year and you're trying to encourage them to play more, because they can turn into pad ruiners. So pad savers for regular sax players. And what was the other one I said? Oh yes, mouthpiece patches. I'm always getting through those. So these are three things that wear out, and actually they might have very tired versions of, and would be really nice to get new shiny ones that are clean and working. So add all of that together. I think you're talking about kind of £10 for a pull-through cloth and maybe about £15 for a pad saver. And for the mouthpiece patches, maybe like a £5. So it's like a nice kind of £30 gift, like put it in a nice box and it says, I know you're a sax player and I care. So that's a nice little gift on around the kind of £30 bracket. Number 6. So this one is actually a really good gift that was given to me, is to have a sax lesson or like a masterclass. So no matter how far along you get, there's always going to be someone better than you who can show you something. And actually that was a beautiful gift that I got one year. I had a 2-hour masterclass with this amazing saxophonist called Nigel Hitchcock. He was huge in the 80s on all of like Take That albums and things like that. He's just such a legend. And he gave me this like 2-hour masterclass in improvisation, and I loved it. So getting someone a lesson is actually a really, really nice gift as well. This isn't a plug for my lessons. I do offer lessons over Skype if that's something you're interested in and you hadn't come across that before. But even if this person takes regular lessons, getting them a one-off lesson with someone different can actually really kind of lift the spirits, give them a different angle. It's always a good thing. With my kind of grade 8 students, I will always insist that they have at least one lesson with another teacher at some point. I think it's hugely beneficial. And price bracket wise, that could range anything from kind of £40 for the hour for like just having a slightly different teacher, maybe like a student-y type teacher, to kind of £100 depending on the caliber and how long the lesson is. So that is actually a really, really special gift, I would say. Now we're getting into the slightly more expensive, and we're going to go right up into the properly expensive, like fun gifts. So number 7 is a gig bag. They're just really convenient. They go on your back a bit better. They're much lighter. So if this person has got one of those really old school, looks like a coffin bags, I would massively recommend getting them a gig bag. Often they'll go as a rucksack, so they fit a bit better on your back. Or if it's a school kid and they already have a rucksack, you can just get shoulder straps as well. And it means they're not carrying it like that. I mean, that's really bad for back and posture. And they're just really inconvenient as well. I would recommend one that's got some sort of support in it, especially if you're buying it for someone who's maybe a bit clumsy or careless, because otherwise if anyone puts anything on top of that, or if they drop it in any way, then your saxophone's going to get damaged. So you're ranging anything from kind of £50 to £100 for a gig bag. Oh, and also they just look a lot cooler than the coffins. They're like fitted like a saxophone. You can tell there's a saxophone in there, which looks much cooler. And they come with zippers on the front. You can carry your music and your bits and bobs and maybe your pull-through cloth that you got for Christmas. Okay, number 8. This is on my Christmas list this year, a decent Bluetooth speaker. So I have one that was just from whatever, Sainsbury's or something, and it was like £40 and it's a bit rubbish and doesn't pump out enough volume. I really want one of the proper Bose speakers. We do a lot of stuff with track. We do a lot of listening to music. So a really nice speaker is actually an incredible gift for a sax player. A lot of the time, because we're a loud instrument, these little puny box things aren't loud enough. By the time we start playing, we can't hear it. Even if we're just playing a metronome, you can't use a metronome just on a phone. It's not loud enough. So to have like a nice Bose speaker, oh, that's a good gift. And that's around the kind of £150 bracket, depending on what model you're getting. Number 9, we're nearly there. This is a really fun gift, really cool for anyone that's a sax player that gigs, is the effects pedal. I've talked about it in a couple of videos. I've done a review, which should be popping above my head now. You can check that out. And I've also done a video quite recently on how to get the best out of it and best effects. So there's a few videos using that and some examples of me playing with it as well. This was just one of the best investments. It's so much fun. It makes your sound so much better. I take it to every gig. Even if I know there's going to be a sound engineer there, I'll often take my pedal just in case, because it just makes it so much more enjoyable for me if I know that I've got good sound. So the one that I use is the VE20. They do them on sax.co.uk. They're sort of, I think they're meant as kind of a vocal mic or a guitar pedal, but they work brilliantly on the sax. So that is in your kind of £250 bracket. So quite a big gift, but a good one and really good fun. So I would massively recommend that. You need a microphone with it, just quick heads up in case you're clicking that button straight away. That sax player does need to have a microphone to connect through this. Okay, the last one. This is just really silly. And I actually really love having mine, is a vibrato sax. They're the stupid plastic ones and they sound rubbish really, but they are so much fun. It is really fun to have this silly plastic coloured sax. They're super light as well. So if I do end up using it on a gig, I'm like, oh, how nice not to be exhausted. And if you use it with a decent mouthpiece, you can get away with it. My one's a bit fun because it lights up. So you must have seen it in one of my Christmas videos already. If not, you should check out my Christmas videos. I'll do a link to the Christmas playlist. It should be popping above my head now. And you'll see that vibrato sax. I've also done a review on that to say, like, because there's a few different ones actually. But the decent ones are around the kind of £500 bracket, which is, I know, a huge gift, but I mean, this person is going to be thrilled to get this hilarious saxophone in like clear color or like pink or whatever, white saxophone. And on gigs, they do really grab attention. They're super fun. And that will just be a really cool, frivolous gig if you want to get a sax player something they probably don't already have. So yeah, that's my top 10s for this year. I hope that was useful. Give it a thumbs up. If you think of something that I haven't put on there or haven't put on my last year's video, which again, you should check out in the description box if you haven't watched that one. If you think of something that I've missed that you would love, then do comment and let me know. This is a whole community we've got going on here at YouTube, and I'm sure people would love to hear what you think as well. So pop those down in the description box. If you don't already subscribe to my channel, please do. Then you'll get notified when there are new videos and updates on what's going on in the saxophone community in general. And if you want to know a bit more about me and where I am in the world and what I'm doing, you should also follow me on the various social medias. I post a lot on kind of Instagram and stuff like that, and you can see where I'm performing. I hope you're doing good, and Merry Christmas, guys. See you next time. Bye. So I am serious about this subscribing thing. Hit that button. Do it. Do it, or I'll drop you back. I will. I'll do it.